Hi everyone, welcome to Slow English Studio.
Hello, my friend. I'm really happy you're here today. Take a moment, get comfortable, and let's spend the next few minutes improving your English together. Today's lesson is a little different. We're not just going to learn new English words. We're also going to explore simple ideas that can help you feel calmer, think more clearly, and enjoy everyday life a little more. Our lesson is inspired by the wonderful book Mindfulness, a Practical Guide by Tessa Watt. Don't worry if you've never heard of this book before. You don't need to read it to enjoy today's lesson. I'll explain everything in slow, easy English that's perfect for English learners. You'll improve your listening, learn useful vocabulary, and maybe discover a few simple habits that can make your day a little brighter. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or finished eating your lunch without really tasting it? Or driven home and suddenly realized you don't remember part of the journey? If that has ever happened to you, you're not alone. It happens to almost everyone. And today, you're going to discover why. So take one slow, deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Leave everything else behind. And let's begin. One of the biggest lessons I learned from this book is surprisingly simple. Most of us spend very little time living in the present moment. Think about your morning. Did you really enjoy your breakfast? Or were you already thinking about work, your to-do list, or everything you needed to finish today? Maybe you walked outside, but you didn't notice the blue sky. Maybe someone smiled at you, but you were too busy thinking about something else. Our bodies are here, but our minds are somewhere else. After reading this book, I started asking myself one simple question. How much of my life am I actually experiencing? That question stayed with me. Because it's easy to believe we're living every moment. But sometimes we're only thinking through every moment. Here's a simple example. Imagine you're watching your favorite movie, but every 30 seconds, you pause it. You check your phone. You answer a message. Then you press play again. Would you really enjoy the movie? Probably not. You would miss the funniest moments, the most emotional scenes, the beautiful music. Life is very similar. Every time our attention jumps somewhere else, we miss a little piece of what's happening right now. Our minds naturally wander. They think about yesterday. They plan tomorrow. They solve problems. That's simply what the human brain does, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes our minds become so busy that they forget about the only moment we can actually live. Here's another question for you. When was the last time you really listened to the rain? Or watched a sunset without taking out your phone? Or enjoyed a meal without looking at a screen? Many of us can't remember. And that's okay, because mindfulness isn't about feeling guilty. It's about noticing. Once you notice, you can begin to change. And that's exactly what happened to me after reading this book. I didn't suddenly become a completely different person. I didn't stop having busy days. I didn't stop worrying sometimes. But I started noticing more. I noticed birds singing outside my window. I noticed how good it felt to put my phone away during dinner. These sound like very small things, but together they made my days feel richer. Not because my life changed, but because I finally started paying attention to it. Here's the idea that surprised me the most. At first, it sounds very simple, but the more I thought about it, the more powerful it became. There is a big difference between reacting and responding. To react means to act immediately, without thinking. To respond means to pause, think, and choose what to do. It sounds like a small difference, but it can change everything. The book explains that between what happens and how we respond, there is a small space. Sometimes it's only 1 second. But in that moment, we have a choice. Imagine someone says something unkind to you. Your first reaction might be anger. But if you take a moment, you can choose to stay calm. The situation hasn't changed. Only your response has. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything that follows. Because we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can choose how we respond. 1 moment at a time. After reading this book, I made just a few small changes. I stopped using my phone while eating. I paid more attention to the world around me. And when someone was speaking to me, I gave them my full attention. These habits are simple. Really, they're much simpler than I expected. But they reminded me that mindfulness isn't about changing your whole life. It's about paying attention to the life you already have. Before we finish, I have a little challenge for you. Today, choose just one ordinary moment without your phone. Look around. Listen carefully. Take a moment. You might be surprised by how much you've been missing. Enjoy the little moments. They're everywhere, and I can't wait for you to discover them. Take care. Keep practicing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.